Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Langfield, and today I want to take a look at a filter made by Moment. This is the Moment CineBloom Filter, and it is a filter that they came out with not that long ago, and basically what it is it's a diffusion filter. Now if you don't know what a diffusion filter is, maybe Google that. In short, basically it adds a layer of diffusion to the end of your lens. I actually have it on right now so you can see this light here. A couple different things are happening. One, the blacks are raised just by a little bit. Two, the highlights basically bloom. You'll see that it creates a little bit of a halation around the light bulb behind me. And three, it takes off that digital edge. You know, these cameras shooting with the A7 III and a 30mm at 1.8, these are very sharp and very perfect lenses and cameras, and we have a very digital image. And sometimes to remove that, what we use is diffusion filters. Now, if you just want to see the sample footage and pictures that I took with the Moment filter, I took some before and after images and video. Go ahead and jump to this section here and you can take a look at that. Now, there's a couple things that come with this when you buy it. It comes with this really nice case, nice little cloth there, and that's where the lens filter goes. There's two different strengths here. As you can see, I have the 10% one. It comes with the 10% and the 20% one. I wasn't quite sure to which one to get, and I was reading through Reddit and watching different videos and all sorts of different things, and I came to the conclusion that the 10% was enough for me. I was a little scared that it wasn't going to be strong enough, but I was very pleased with the amount of blooming that is in the highlights and how you can still use it in daylight and shoot in the sun, and it doesn't completely just wash out your image. I saw a couple behind the scenes with people with the 20%. They were saying that it was a little bit too much when you're shooting during the daylight. At night, it looks beautiful with the lights just blooming, but I thought that the 10% was gonna be a better option for me if I wanna use it for all the time. Now, if you just wanna get both, you can get the 10% and the 20%. They are quite cheap compared to like the TIFF and Pro Mist filter that goes around $150. These are from $50 to $100, and depending on the different sizes, right? But it's quite cheaper. You can get both of them for about the same price. Now, quickly, I'll show you here on this setup here what it looks like with the filter and then without the filter. There it is without the filter. As you notice here in the blacks on that lighting behind me, you'll see that the black becomes true black. And then once I add it back on, the light starts blooming into the blacks. Now let's jump into my computer. We're gonna take a look at some before and after images that I got with the filter on and one without. And you can see the differences there, and I'll talk you through some of the things that I found out as I was using it. All right, so in this first test here, I learned that the brighter the source is and the harsher that light source is, the more it will bloom. So if you point this to something that's already diffused or a very soft light, you won't really notice any change at all. Maybe you'll notice a little bit of the blacks being lifted, but you won't notice much of the blooming. And that's just because the light's already diffused. So find lights that are bright and that are harsh, and this will help get that halation happening in the bulb. This is actually a great example here because it was darker and the lights were very bright and they were very harsh lights. None of them were soft, and you can see the effect that it creates on the filter when it is on and when it is off. One thing to note is that because it is a filter, you will have reflections happen. As you can see, that does have a reflection going back and forth. That might be a little bit annoying sometimes. So for this shot, since it's pretty evenly lit and everything's pretty soft, you'll notice that the filter does not do much. It might make a little bit softer image on the trees at the back. You'll notice that the trees are not as sharp in one, and when you remove it, it has a little bit sharper image. In this test here, you'll notice that nothing really happens when you put it on, and it made me curious of why I wasn't seeing anything. And then I noticed that as you put stuff in front, the light does like wrapping around it. As you can see, when you put something black or something in front of the light, it likes to bloom around it. In this shot, I had the sun just peeking over the houses in the background. So you notice that because of that, it was going into the filter a little bit, and it was creating that blooming effect. This one was a great example of just a harsh light in a black background, and just the effect that it creates. You can really see the light just taking over the filter. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.